After 20 years of searching, a CEO was hidden as her impoverished boyfriend. Her life-changing truth revealed. Emma's heart raced as she dashed through the bustling market, dodging vendors and shoppers alike. The vibrant colors of fresh produce and cheerful chatter blended into a chaotic melody that accompanied her every hurried step. Raised by a family that prized wealth above all, the weight of their expectations draped over her like an oppressive cloak. Success was the mantra, and yet, no one knew the real her. The woman deeply invested in a community kitchen that worked miracles for families struggling to find their next meal. It was another ordinary day, or so she thought, until she collided with a sturdy frame. "Oh. I'm so sorry," she sputtered, glancing up into warm hazel eyes that held a spark of curiosity. Sam, the humble mechanic known for his kindness, studied her for a beat before a charming smile broke across his face. In that moment, something fierce and electric jolted through her, igniting a connection that defied their stark class divide. As they spoke, Emma felt an inexplicable pull towards him. The friction of their worlds melted away, replaced with a raw vulnerability that was both thrilling and terrifying. She had never allowed herself to breathe so freely around anyone before. His laughter was the balm for her suffocating ambitions. As they exchanged stories, his words wrapped around her, softness painted with strength, but a lingering shadow followed their budding romance. Emma's family rained judgment like a relentless storm, scorning her choice of partner. They believed she was meant for someone from her league, with a title, an office, a portfolio. And yet, a spark of rebellion ignited within her, one she never knew existed. Then, it hit. Buzz around town deepened as devastating news broke about the beloved local diner, a cherished haven for so many. The diner was on the chopping block due to unforeseen financial troubles. Emma felt her heart drop. This was not just a restaurant, it was a place where dreams were born and friendships flourished. Fueled by determination, she stepped into action. Rallied neighbors shared their passion, their hopes, as they organized a fundraiser. Just when optimism began to blossom, an unexpected wall loomed in their path, a shocking setback that left Emma's heart pounding with doubt. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Emma leaned against a cool brick wall, feeling the world twist around her. That's when Sam's truth crashed over her like a wave. He was not just the simple mechanic. The very community he supported had once been the backdrop of his ambitious tech dreams, dreams sacrificed for the love of the neighborhood. Confusion tore through her as real identities surfaced, leaving her feeling both grateful and bewildered. As the community became increasingly divided over this revelation, so too did Emma and Sam. The boundaries of privilege and sacrifice drew stark lines between them. Would their love transcend the fallout, or would societal judgments balloon their insecurities, ripping them apart? In this whirlwind of emotional upheaval, Emma realized she had to find her strength among her family's burdens, her partners, and their disapproving whispers. As the dinner drew near, crumbling hopes hovered above them like storm clouds. Would they protect their love against all odds, or would they be swept up by the very expectations that sought to define them? Emma's chest tightened, the weight of the world folding in as she wondered, what if their fight was just beginning? Emma woke up the next morning to a haunting silence. No bustling market, no lively conversations. Just the faint echo of her racing thoughts. She sat up, rubbing her eyes, trying to process the chaos of the previous day. What did Sam's revelation mean for them? Was their connection strong enough to weather this storm? Rolling out of bed, she glanced at herself in the mirror. Her reflection stared back, a mix of determination and uncertainty. Could she really fight the looming judgment? The thought felt heavy, but the memory of Sam's smile gave her hope. She pulled on a simple dress and headed to the community kitchen, her sanctuary. As she arrived, the familiar scent of soup simmering filled her senses. The clang of pots, soft laughter, and chatter washed over her moments of warmth in a world that felt so cold. She joined the volunteers, her heart lightening as she chopped vegetables and shared smiles with the families who came for a meal. This was her place, where barriers disappeared, and kindness thrived, but as the day went on, whispers about Sam infiltrated her mind. She couldn't help but overhear snippets of conversations among the volunteers. "Did you hear about their relationship?" one said. "He's just a mechanic," scoffed another. The air grew heavy with judgment, cold like the steel of an unyielding fence. Emma's heart sank further with each passing moment. Just when she needed encouragement, Judy, an older woman who had become like a grandmother to her, approached. "You know, dear," she said, eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Love doesn't care about titles. It cares about connection, compassion, and strength. Don't let them dim your light." Emma nodded, grateful for the reassurance, but the tightening in her chest persisted. How could she explain this to her family, who only saw status? That night, she decided she needed to talk to Sam. They met at their favorite park, where laughter and late-night ice cream whispered the tales of their bond. "I feel lost, Sam," she confessed, her voice trembling slightly. "I want to fight for us, but my family is, well, you know how they feel." He took a deep breath and stepped closer, his warm gaze steadying her. "Emma, listen to me. I've fought my whole life to find a balance between who I am and what the world sees me as. The love we have is worth that fight. We can show them. But what if it's not enough?" she asked, her fears bubbling to the surface. "What if they're right?" "We'll find a way together," he assured her. The intensity of his gaze melted the ice in her heart slightly, igniting a flicker of hope, but as they spoke, an unsettling realization dawned. News of the diner crisis was spreading further than expected. The fundraiser, once an exciting prospect, now felt like a flimsy straw against an impending flood. They needed something more, a real plan to save the diner, something that could rally the community together, heart and soul. Emma felt the call to action resonate within her. She couldn't just sit back as shadows of doubt gathered. It was time to shift the narrative. She turned to Sam, determination replaced trepidation. "What if we hosted a community rally?" she proposed. Excitement bubbled between them. "To bring everyone together, share stories, remind them what the diner means and how we can save it." His eyes widened, an infectious smile breaking on his face. "That's it. A celebration of our community." In those moments of brainstorming, they were electrified with purpose. Yet, deep down, Emma knew that the fight wouldn't just be against financial burdens, it would also be against the expectations that threatened to shatter their worlds. As the rally day drew closer, Emma's heart raced with anticipation and fear. Would they rise to the challenge? Would their love stand true amidst turmoil? The night before the rally, she lay in bed, uncertainty teasing the edges of her resolve. Tomorrow would be a turning point, one that would either fortify their relationship or unravel the delicate strands they fought to weave. What if they couldn't muster the community's support? What if the truth of their love couldn't conquer the weight of her family's expectations? As Emma closed her eyes, a whisper of doubt lingered in the shadows. Tomorrow held promise but also peril. Would they face the truth together, or would fate pull them apart? The sun broke through the curtain the next morning, casting warm light across Emma's room. She awoke with butterflies in her stomach, the excitement and anxiety intertwining like a dance. Today was the day of the rally, the day they would put their plan into action and try to save the diner. Emma could hardly believe it was happening. Everything she had dreamed of was finally within reach. She took a deep breath and slipped into her favorite jeans and a cheerful floral top. The outfit felt symbolic, like a banner of hope she could wave to the world. As she made her way to the community center, the streets buzzed with anticipation. Flyers fluttered in the breeze, signifying the event, and vibrant banners were strung from lampposts. Arriving early, she noticed Sam already setting up the area. He was lifting tables, arranging chairs, and chatting with some of the other volunteers. His spirit was contagious, and Emma couldn't help but smile as she approached him. "You're on fire," she joked, trying to match his enthusiasm. That he stopped what he was doing and turned, his smile wide. "Just getting everything ready for the best day ever." His energy filled her with warmth, like a cozy meal on a cold day. As the hours passed, families and friends filled the space, and the atmosphere buzzed with hope and laughter. It was a melting pot of stories, moms with babies, old-timers reminiscing, and kids dashing about with ice cream dribbles on their shirts. Emma's heart swelled as she watched the community come together, bridging gaps that had once felt insurmountable. With everything in place, it was time for Emma and Sam to speak. She could feel her palms sweating as they climbed onto the improvised stage. Her heart raced, pounding in her chest like a drum. Sam reached for her hand, grounding her. "Hey," he whispered just before they were introduced. "We've got this." Taking a deep breath, Emma stepped forward. "Thank you all for being here today." Her voice rang out across the gathering. The crowd quieted, eyes focused on her. "This diner isn't just a place to eat, it's a home for everyone. It's where we share joy, laughter, and even tears. It's part of the fabric of our community." She paused, scanning the faces before her. "But today, it needs us. It needs love, support, and togetherness to survive." A round of applause erupted, and the energy surged. Sam stepped forward, his voice resonating with courage. "We can't let it slip away because of money or judgment. Let us show everyone what we're made of." More applause mingled with shouts of agreement. Emma felt a rush of adrenaline. They were all together, united for a cause greater than any one person. But just as the energy peaked, a figure emerged from the crowd, her parents. Emma's heart dropped. They were here, and she could see the disapproval etched on their faces. Uncertainty danced with the joy inside her. Had her family come to support her, or were they here to make a scene? Silence enveloped the moment as Emma's gaze locked onto her parents. The world around her faded, leaving only the pounding of her heart and the question hanging in the air: how to respond. "What are they doing here?" she whispered to Sam, anxiety creeping back in. "We can handle this together," he replied gently, but she sensed the storm brewing inside her. As the rally continued, Emma couldn't shake the feeling of impending confrontation. Would this rally truly bring the community together, or would it be the catalyst that tore her world apart? With her heart in her throat, she took a step forward, ready to confront the unspoken challenges that now loomed larger than life. Today was a test. And it just might change everything. Would she have the courage to face the judgment that awaited? Or would the pressure fracture their resolve, leaving her torn between love and family? Emma's breath caught as her parents' expressions hardened. They stood at the edge of the crowd, two pillars of disapproval amidst the hopeful warmth of rallying supporters. The applause faded into a dull echo in her ears as she weighed her options. Would she let their presence shake her resolve, or would she find a way to focus on what truly mattered? "Just breathe," Sam said softly beside her, sensing her turmoil. She nodded, attempting to steady her racing heart. "Hey, everyone," she called out, trying to regain her focus. "Let's keep that momentum going. Every penny we raise today will help keep this diner open." The crowd erupted in renewed cheers. She allowed the energy to lift her spirit, yet her gaze returned to her parents, their disappointment glaring like a spotlight. She wanted to show them that their daughter didn't just have a dream, she was part of a community that needed her. But would they see it that way? As the rally progressed, Emma felt a push-pull of emotions. She danced between hope and anxiety, caught in a whirlwind of uncertainty. Yet every call from the crowd, every smile from a neighbor reminded her why they were fighting, for a place that meant so much to so many. Then came the next phase of the event. Emma had organized a bake sale, and volunteers began to display cakes, cookies, and pies. The sweet aroma wafted through the air, invigorating spirits even further. Children dashed to grab treats, and laughter bubbled across the area. Emma felt a bit of her tension ease as she served pie slices, their satisfied smiles fueling her resolve, but just as joy washed over her, she spotted her mother moving through the crowd. Emily was an expert in following paths with purpose, and Emma's heart raced again. Her mother was headed straight towards the bake sale booth. "I can't just stand by," Emma whispered to Sam, fear igniting her words. "I'll be right here," he reassured her, gathering every ounce of courage. Emma stepped out to meet her mother. The other volunteers faded away, the laughter dulled, and her focus narrowed. "Mom," she started, "this is a mistake," her mother interjected, the words sharp and biting. "Do you really think this will work? You think a few pie slices can save something so fragile?" Emma clenched her fists, feeling the weight of her mother's skepticism crush her hopes. "It's more than just a diner to a lot of people, Mom. If we don't try, we lose more than just a building." Her mother's eyes softened for just a moment, but then her defenses rose back up. "What I want is for you to find something real, something stable. This is chasing shadows." As they stood not just face to face, but heart to heart, confusion swirled inside Emma. She wanted her parents to understand her passion, her belief in the community. But all she saw was their fear. "I can't be what you want me to be," Emma finally said. "Not if it means abandoning people who believe in each other." The words spilled out before she could pull them back, raw and brave. A tense silence hung between them. Emma took a step closer, but her mother turned away, catching breath for what felt like the impending fall. Emma fought against the rush of tears stinging her eyes. "We need this, even if you don't see it." Then she turned back towards the rally, not sure if her mother would follow. The crowd had resumed cheering, wrapped up in their cause, their unity washing over Emma like a comforting tide. She knew she had to press on, but as her eyes scanned the faces, the moment of confrontation wasn't over. She felt her father step up beside her mother, his imposing figure cutting through the soft joy surrounding them. "Emma," his voice boomed, and her stomach flipped. "We need to talk." In that moment, everything shifted. Would she be able to navigate the storm that lay ahead? Or would this clash with her family break her spirit? The most important conversation of her life was about to unfold. And she had no idea how it would end. Emma felt a chill walk down her spine as her father's authoritative tone resonated in her ears. She could taste the tension in the air, thick and suffocating. The crowd around her seemed to fade into a blur, their cheers muffled by the pounding of her heart. She glanced back at Sam, who watched with wide eyes, willing her to return. Yet her feet were anchored, caught between where she belonged and what was expected of her. Her father stepped closer, a looming shadow. "This isn't the way to handle things," he said, his voice edged with worry. "I get that you're passionate about this diner. But you're putting your future at risk. We talked about this." "Talked about what?" Emma shot back, the frustration bubbling to the surface. "Reducing my life to just a safe job. Hiding behind a desk, living by your definitions. Dad, I want something more than that." His expression hardened. "Emma, we want what's best for you. This community. It won't last. Businesses come and go. Our name was built on something real. Stability and respect. It's more than just business, Dad," she exclaimed, gesturing to the lively crowd around her. "These people, this diner, it's a lifeline for them, just like it was for you and Mom once. You remember how it felt to be part of something bigger?" "I do," he replied, his voice lowering a notch. "But I also remember how it felt to lose everything because of poor decisions. You have to learn to protect yourself." Taking a deep breath, Emma stood her ground. "And what about the people who are counting on me? Am I supposed to abandon them because it's safer?" Her father's brow furrowed as if he was trying to comprehend her words. "Emma, we didn't raise you to be a dreamer. We want you to have a foundation." "Foundation?" She spat, her voice trembling. "Is that all life is about? Building walls to keep out challenges? I've spent too long adhering to your vision, and now I'm finally fighting for what I care about. A flicker of conflict crossed her father's face. For a moment, she thought she might see understanding in his eyes. Maybe, just maybe, she could show him what this meant. But her mother interjected, stepping forward again, her voice cold. You don't understand, Emma. This isn't just about the diner. It's about you choosing to follow a fantasy instead of reality. It's about ensuring you won't fall. Suddenly, everything around Emma felt fragile, like the world was about to shatter under the weight of their expectations. Mom, I'm done running from what I care about. I'm not chasing shadows, I'm building something real. Together with the community, I'm doing something that matters, she challenged, shaking with emotion, driving the point home. The crowd had hushed, sensing the gravity of the moment. All eyes were now on the unfolding drama, their cheers turning to pitying glances. Emma felt heat rise in her cheeks. What does it matter if I have a safe job but empty nights? If I can't stand in front of the people I love and fight for them? You've taught me to stand up and be brave. Isn't this what I'm doing? Her parents exchanged glances, uncertainty hanging between them like a fragile thread. Emma's resolve steadied her footing, even as her heart felt ready to explode, then she heard a teen's voice from the crowd. You can do it, Emma. We believe in you. The simple cheer ignited a spark in her soul, and she turned her gaze back to her parents. Don't you see? She pressed. Community isn't about safety, it's about belonging. It's about standing together, even if times are tough. Emma held her breath, waiting for a response. Would they finally understand her? She shifted her eyes to the eager faces around her, hopeful yet terrified. But before her parents could respond, the crowd erupted into cheers again, drowning out everything else. The rally surged anew, and Emma felt both encouraged and anxious. It was clear the battle was far from over. Would her parents ever support her? Or would she keep standing alone, fighting for her beliefs regardless of their fears? An uncertain future loomed ahead, and the stakes had never been higher. But Emma vowed to keep fighting. The diner was worth it, and so were the people she loved. As she looked back, ready to face her parents head-on again, a new wave of determination surged within her. What if this was just the beginning of a much bigger challenge? What if everything she believed in was about to be put to the ultimate test? Emma felt the energy from the crowd wash over her, heavy yet exhilarating. Each cheer pushed her resolve to new heights. This was more than just a fight for the diner, it was a battle for her identity, the very essence of who she was. Her father's silence felt like a weight on her chest, a monumental pause that threatened to suffocate her, but she wouldn't back down. She could see the worry etched in his features, lines that told stories of his struggles. But all she could focus on was the challenge in front of her. Dad, listen to them. Emma urged, gesturing broadly to the crowd. They need this. We're all in this together. You taught me to be strong, to believe in something, now I need you to believe in me. Her mother's sharp rebuttal cut through the moment, making Emma's heart ache. This isn't just about support. It's about reality, Emma. If you're this reckless, you could lose everything, again. Somewhere in the chaos, Emma felt a crack in her bravado. Memories of past failures flickered through her mind like an old film, real moments when she hadn't been enough or had faltered when faced with a challenge. She pushed them away. Now was not the time for fear. Mom, every time I choose to fight for this place, I'm not just risking myself, Emma replied fiercely, her eyes searching her parents for signs of understanding. I'm giving hope. This diner is about those who need faith that things can get better. We can't just abandon those who rely on us because it feels safe. The crowd responded, a roar of agreement rising around her. They leaned forward, eager to support her dreams, and in that moment, Emma felt less alone. The noise of her parents fell away, drowned by the murmurs of encouragement swelling from the community. She spotted Sam in the front row, nodding furiously as if her passion ignited his own fire. Look at them, Mom. Look at their faces. They need us to believe in each other. I want to stand for that. She implored, her voice lifting above the din. A flicker of doubt crossed her mother's face, but still, her expression was guarded. But at what cost? She replied quietly, the weight of her worry palpable. Emma was losing her parents in the noise of the moment. Could they really not see how vital this was? I refuse to let fear shape my future, she declared, her heart racing with urgency. What we build here, it's not just a diner, it's a family, a community. If we don't take risks, what's left for us? Mediocrity? She withdrew into herself for a moment, her thoughts racing. What did she really want from all of this? Sure, she wanted to keep the diner open, to make it thrive, but more than that, she wanted to forge her own path. One that didn't depend solely on others' expectations. Suddenly, she heard herself say, I'm not afraid of failure or of falling. I was born into hardship, and I want to let it define me. The crowd erupted, their energy pulsing in waves, lifting Emma higher. They believed in her. Each cheer ignited her heart with purpose. Driven by hope and fear alike, she turned back to her parents. I need you to see me. I'm not that little girl anymore. This is my fight now. And if you can't stand behind me, I will stand tall on my own. The silence that followed hung like a thread, ready to snap. Emma held her breath. Would they finally understand? Would they choose to walk alongside her or remain where safety shackled their hearts? Then, she noticed a couple standing at the edge of the crowd. The woman leaned in toward her companion, a tear glistening in her eye. She is so brave, the woman whispered, her voice trembling. Emma felt that spark again, a sense of purpose solidifying inside her. Whatever came next, whether her parents supported her or not, she knew she wouldn't back down. There would be struggle, yes, but also growth and community. As the cheers grew louder, a familiar face ventured from the back of the crowd. Jenna, her childhood friend, stepping forward with determination written on her face. The surge of emotion left Emma breathless. Let us fight together, Emma. Jenna shouted over the crowd, raising her fist high in solidarity. That's when it hit her hard. She wasn't alone. With every ounce of courage, Emma felt the raw connection, the unity in the community. This was just the beginning. They were in this together, whatever it took, but deep inside, a question simmered: could she truly withstand everything that lay ahead, even if it meant risking all she had? Emma's heart raced as the weight of uncertainty loomed larger than ever. What if this moment was just the tip of the iceberg, leading her down a road she could never have imagined? Emma stood poised on the steps, feeling the pulsing energy of the crowd surrounding her. The sight of Jenna stepping forward made her heart swell, and those familiar emotions surged again: hope, determination, and a flicker of fear. This was about more than just a diner, it was about reclaiming her life and inspiring others to do the same. Jenna's fierce encouragement was a balm. Together. Emma echoed, her voice ringing out, lifting the collective spirits of the crowd. With every cheer, the burdens weighing down her heart felt a little lighter. Yet, she could still feel her parents watching her, judgment and concern etched into their expressions. She turned back to them, searching for something, a glimmer of belief, a sign that they were ready to support her, but all she found was a barrier of silence. Mom, Dad, Emma started, her voice wavering, I know you're scared. You think I can't handle it. But look at this. Look at the people who believe in us. Have faith in me, just this once. The quiet that followed her words felt like a storm on the brink of breaking. She couldn't shake the feeling that the outcome of this moment held more than just the fate of the diner. It could reshape their whole family dynamic, uproot fears, and shed expectations that had loomed for far too long. Then, without thinking, Emma raised her voice and called out to the crowd, who here wants to save our diner? Hands shot up, voices called out in agreement, we do. It was a chorus of enthusiasm, a powerful wave that surged over her doubts. Joy bubbled up in her chest as she absorbed the overwhelming support radiating from the community. Each face reflected hope, a desire for change, and it fueled her more than ever. All right then. She shouted, her spirit soaring. Let us make a plan. We'll hold meetings, gather resources, and start spreading the word about what this diner means to us. We will fight daily for what we love. This sense of urgency ignited something in the crowd. People began to step forward, sharing ideas and volunteering their time. Emma felt the rhythm of solutions building, a symphony of determination and passion. Sam nudged her arm, beaming with pride as he whispered, "You're incredible, Emma." But just as exhilaration coursed through her, a haunting nagging thought crawled back. What if they didn't have enough resources? What if it all fell apart? Shaking her head, she banished the fears lurking in the shadows of her mind. No more second-guessing herself. This wasn't just about survival, this was about building something lasting. But would that be possible with her parents' uncertainty still hanging in the air? Emma turned once more to her mom, whose brow was still furrowed with worry. "Mom, this isn't just a fight for me, it's a fight for all of us. We can't live our lives confined by fear. I need you to trust me." Her mother's gaze softened for a split second, and hope flickered in Emma's chest. It felt fragile, yet it was enough to cling to. "Please," she urged, a tremor in her voice. "I'm ready to face this together. We are a family, we can do this." A moment passed, thick with potential, and Emma's heart thundered as she awaited an answer. The footsteps of the crowd, ambitious and loud, felt like it could drown out her apprehensions. Then, her father spoke, carefully, as if he were weighing each word in a scale of choice. "If this is what you want, we will support you. It's time to see if this is what you're meant to do." Emma's heart soared. A breakthrough. Finally. And as the crowd erupted into cheers, a vision of the future brightened her mind. Maybe, just maybe, this was the turning point she had fought so hard for, but with that flicker of hope came a chilling realization: each battle ahead would undoubtedly test their commitment. Was she truly prepared for the challenging road she was about to tread? Just then, her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a message from an unknown number. She hesitated, curiosity tickling her. Somehow, she felt this moment, this fight was only the beginning, and she had no idea what was waiting just around the corner. What unexpected turn was about to arrive at her doorstep? Emma stared at her phone as the screen lit up with the message. The unknown number felt strange, a cryptic puzzle just awaiting her attention. She tucked her hair behind her ear, trying to decipher if she should even open it. But curiosity won. Against the backdrop of cheers fading softly into the distance, she clicked the message. "Emma, I know about the diner. Meet me at the corner cafe. I have information that could change everything." Her heartbeat quickened. What information? Who was this person? Taking a deep breath to steady herself, she glanced at Jenna, who was animatedly discussing plans with some neighbors. The energy of the crowd offered comfort, but the urgency of the unknown pulled at her insides. "Hey, Jenna!" Emma called out, interrupting the buzz within the group. When her friend turned, Emma continued, "I need to step away for a bit. I got a message, and I think it's important." Jenna's expression shifted. "What kind of message?" "Not sure yet. Just I'll be back soon. I promise." With a nod from Jenna, Emma slipped away, feeling the cacophony of voices dimming behind her. The streets were busy, life hustling past as she walked toward the cafe. Anxiety twisted her stomach. What if this was a wild goose chase? What if it was something that would tear her away from the hope she just built? Arriving, she pushed through the doors, the bell chiming overhead. The rich aroma of coffee filled the air, mingling with the sounds of clinking cups and soft chatter. Her eyes scanned the room furtively, landing on a man seated at a corner table, mostly enveloped in shadow. He was looking down at his phone, as if he were waiting for her. "Emma," he said, looking up as she approached. "I'm Sam. We need to talk." "Okay, about what?" He motioned for her to sit. She hesitated but then took a seat, curiosity overpowering wariness. You said you have information about the diner? His expression hardened, the kind of seriousness that demanded her full attention. It's about your family. There are things they've kept hidden. Things you deserve to know. Emma's chest tightened. What do you mean? My family? What are you talking about? Your dad, your mom, they're not who you think they are. There's more to their story, and it intertwines with what's happening at the diner. Emma's mind raced. The weight of his words hung in the air. What secrets had her parents been holding? Why are you telling me this? She asked, struggling to keep her voice steady. Because I believe you're strong enough to handle it. And because if you're going to save that diner, you need all the truth at your side. A wave of emotions crashed within her. How could her father, the man she had just felt a glimmer of connection with, hide such things? Was her entire life built on lies? Or misunderstandings? Look, Sam continued, if you're serious about this fight, knowing the truth will give you the power you didn't know you had. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded paper, sliding it across the table. This will help you. And I have more if you want to dig deeper. But you need to decide now. Are you willing to know? Emma's heart raced as she stared at the paper. Should she take this leap? Could she handle whatever darkness lay in her family's past? The cafe around her buzzed with life, but her mind was consumed. As she reached out for the paper, a chill settled over her. Little did she know, this moment would set her on a path she could never have imagined, one filled with twists and turns that would test every resolve she thought she had. Just then, another alert vibrated in her pocket. Emma's heart sank as she realized the last piece of her tightly held world was about to unravel. Who was this unknown source that had pulled her into this whirlwind? What if the truth was more harrowing than she could ever prepare for? Emma sat frozen, her hand hovering above the paper, heart pounding against her ribcage. The warmth of the cafe faded away, replaced by a chilling grip of uncertainty. Sam's eyes watched her closely, a flicker of emotion crossing his face. Did he truly believe she was ready for what he was about to reveal? Just open it, he urged softly, almost a whisper. You need to know. With trembling fingers, Emma unfolded the paper. A single phrase was scrawled in jagged handwriting, meet me at the diner tonight. 9 p.m. No one can know. Her breath hitched. The diner, the one she was fighting to save, the core of her childhood memories. Why did this stranger want her there so desperately? What is this? She asked, feeling a mixture of panic and urgency racing through her veins. What is going to happen? Sam leaned in closer, the shadows deepening around him. Listen, Emma. I can't explain everything here. But you're not safe. There are people who want to keep the truth buried, and they will do anything to stop you from finding out. Her pulse quickened. What truth? What does this have to do with my family? Trust me, it's complicated, but all of it connects back to your parents and that diner. The fate of your family ties into the fate of that place. And you can't unravel one without digging into the other. Emma's mind spun. She could feel the familiar ache of anger rising up. Why was her entire life starting to feel like a tangled mess? So what do I do? You go to the diner. Find out what is happening there. Understand the past, the choices that were made. His voice surged with a fierceness that took her by surprise. And if you want to save it, you'll need to be ready to confront some painful truths. She took a moment to absorb his words. The idea of stepping into the diner with the weight of her parents' secrets pressing upon her felt daunting. It was a place filled with laughter and warmth, yet tied to shadows she hadn't known existed. If I go tonight, Emma began, struggling to keep her voice steady, what will I find? Everything. But first, stay safe. You're not alone in this, Emma. Her fingers tightened around the paper, and for a brief moment, a flicker of courage ignited within her. There was no more running from her parents' history, she needed answers. The pieces were scattered, but she was willing to collect them, no matter how painful it might be. As she stood to leave, a thought struck her, sharp as glass. How do you know all this? Sam hesitated, the weight of his silence heavy. Let's just say I've been looking into your family for a long time. There are people out there who will stop at nothing to keep you from knowing who you are. The urgency in his voice snapped the last thread of her hesitation. All right, she finally said. I'll go to the diner. But what if something goes wrong? He leaned forward, intensity burning in his gaze. You'll be brave. Just remember, you're not doing this alone. You have the power to change this. With those words echoing in her mind, Emma stepped out of the cafe, determination fueling her every stride. The world felt different, brighter yet slightly terrifying. She was stepping into the unknown, ready to lay bare the truth of her family in the diner and ready to see what she could become in the process. As she walked away, her phone buzzed again, a text from Jenna, questioning her whereabouts. She paused, butterflies churning in her stomach. What was she supposed to tell her friend about this? Suddenly, the weight of the situation was more real than ever, pressing down on her shoulders. Should she share her fears or keep them locked away, fearing it would only worry Jenna more? Now, standing at the crossroads of her life, Emma felt that familiar tug of doubt return. Was she ready to deal with the past? The only thing she knew for certain was that tonight at the diner, the truth would come knocking, and she had to be prepared for whatever awaited her on the other side. Emma's heart raced as she approached the diner, the sounds of the night bustling around her. The familiar glow of neon lights welcomed her, yet a rush of trepidation flooded her veins. Tonight was not just about saving the diner, it was about confronting the very foundations of her life, the secrets that had cast shadows over her family. As she stepped inside, the warmth enveloped her like a long-lost hug. The hum of chatter filled the air, but it felt different tonight. There was an undercurrent of tension, a fragile reminder that everything was at stake. Emma scanned the room, her breath catching when she spotted Sam leaning against the counter, his expression serious yet supportive. Hey, he said softly, stepping closer. Are you ready for this? She nodded, though her stomach twisted tightly. I don't know what I'm supposed to find. What if it shatters everything? Then we'll piece it back together, he replied, his eyes unwavering. You're strong enough to face the truth. Taking a deep breath, Emma steeled herself. She had come this far, it was time to unlock the doors of her past and reclaim her future. With Sam beside her, she approached the back room, the very heart of the diner, where families gathered around tables filled with laughter and love. But now it felt more like a sanctum filled with uncertainty. A quiet figure awaited them, a woman in her 60s with weathered eyes glimmering under the soft light. Emma, she said, her voice gentle yet firm. I've been waiting for you. Who are you? Emma whispered, half expecting this encounter not to be real. I knew your parents long before they built this place. I have stories, secrets, and a promise to fulfill. The woman's gaze seemed to pierce the layers of Emma's carefully crafted life. They shielded you from the truth to protect you, but now it's time you understood. Emma's heart tightened, but she pushed through the fear. Just tell me what I need to know. Your family's wealth came at a price. They were once involved in something that shook this community to its core. Choices were made, lies were spun, and the diner became their sanctuary among the wreckage. But that sanctuary is threatened, and so is your inheritance. The word struck Emma like a bolt of lightning. The weight stirred something deep within her. She felt the burden of her parents' past coat her like a shroud. How could they keep this from me? What if it all falls apart? Sometimes the truth feels more daunting than the fight, Sam interjected, moving closer, urging Emma to find her voice. Emma closed her eyes, taking a moment. What do I need to do? Stand up and be brave, the woman urged. Use what you've learned here, the relationships you've built. They are your strength. Emma nodded, gathering her resolve. She stepped toward the back door, pushed it open, and stepped out to face the community that had stood by her side. Everyone! She shouted, her voice reverberating against the night. Silence fell, and scores of eager faces turned toward her, lit with anticipation. "We need to talk." She felt adrenaline fuel her courage. "It's time to open the door to the truth. The diner means everything to us. But our fight for it is connected deeper, grounded in history we can no longer ignore. We must rally together not just for this building, but for our entire community." A unified cheer erupted, filling the air with hope and determination. Emma grasped Sam's hand, the warmth anchoring her amidst a whirlwind of emotions. Together, they were a team, symbols of a hope that could rise above the murmurings of doubt. As the crowd erupted into encouragement, Emma glanced back towards the woman, now just a glimmer in the light, a silent guardian watching over them. With renewed spirit, she declared, "Let South make this place a home again together." The crowd surged, their energy electrifying the air around them. They brainstormed plans, contacted anyone who could help, and began envisioning a revitalized diner that resonated with the purpose Emma had dreamed of, but inside her, a question lingered: could they truly rise against the encroaching shadows of her parents' past? As the night unfolded, Emma felt the spirit of community buoy her, supporting her, believing in her, igniting a fierce fire of determination. And deep down, she realized that love was the true foundation of everything. It would guide her through the deepest waters, lending courage even when answers felt far away. In that moment, Emma was not just a daughter, she was a force to reckon with, a catalyst for change. The night was just beginning, and with her heart full of hope, she knew she was ready to fight for the community that had embraced her as its own. Now was the time for everyone to unite, for truth and love to pave their way forward. She glanced at Sam, who just smiled back, and together they embraced the dawn of a new beginning. The diner would rise again not just as a building but as a beacon of resilience, hope, and strength, and with that, Emma called to the crowd, "Are you with me?" "Yes," they cried, their voices merging into a beautiful symphony of solidarity that echoed through the night. This, she realized, was just the start of a transformation that would ignite everything around them: their love, their friendships, and above all, their family ties. United, they would overcome the shadows and emerge brighter than ever before. As they rallied together, Emma felt prepared to face whatever lay ahead. Now, as we reach the epic conclusion of this chapter, don't miss the next exclusive journey. You need to subscribe now to our channel to stay updated on all the incredible stories coming your way. Leave a like now, your support feeds the algorithm and keeps us thriving. Comment below with your feelings about this transformative ending, we'd love to hear from you. And don't wait not even one more second. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this inspiring journey. Your support means the world and helps keep our community united.